All right, man. It's another one of the awesome games this weekend in this 1 o'clock. The 1 o'clock window has got some stuff going on. Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. A couple 2-1 teams in the North.
We're again with this ridiculous 4 or 4:25 p.m. games.
And 9 at 1 o'clock.
How?
9,
why?
which breaks your double multi-view. You can't do it. You can't watch everything on two TVs.
We're in a world now where they've designed Sunday Ticket, YouTube TV, and yet we're specifically putting that 9th game in the 1 p.m.
If you were commissioner, would you do a consistent, like, 6 and 6?
I don't know if I would evenly split it.
Because they do that, like week 18, it's like, no, we're doing half at 1, half at 4.
I don't know that I would evenly split it, but I would definitely, like, there would never be fewer than 4 games in the 4 p.m. block. Because why would there be?
Yeah, I think
would
a
never be
consistent
more than 8.
4 in the 4 o'clock window is good.
Yeah.
I do love that the witching hour deal, like 3:45 on a Sunday afternoon. There's like 6 fourth-quarter comebacks happening. I do love that, you know? Anyway, Ravens at Browns. Let me reset again for YouTube. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. What a matchup here. Browns favored by 3. I'm doing it for our social media people here, Sam.
You're just a man of the people.
I am.
A man of our people.
Chris suggested it too, you know?
He did.
I listen to the boss.
Yeah.
Because Chris can't handle 6-hour podcasts like we put together.
Right.
But he likes the chopped up versions. Gets what he needs.
He suggested, you should tell people why, so they can go watch the individual video or the single one. You don't have to sit through all 8 hours of this podcast.
You should, though. It helps our numbers. You should do both.
Right.
Because they all help our numbers, right? So you should watch the full podcast as you are right now, but also go get the individual videos because it's better for our numbers, and that makes us look good.
Then go back and listen to your individual video and really dive in deep and pay full attention because it's only,
Make sure your
half
watch
an hour
time,
long.
make sure you watch it start to finish because that also helps. That makes us look good to management, and when we're in contract negotiations with management, we'll be here longer, and that's good for everybody.
Good for everybody. Yeah.
Full transparency. All right, Ravens at Browns. What are you looking at? I got to reset again?
Oh, God.
Browns defense, really quick.
Yeah.
Number
phenomenal.
1, so I get 2 numbers here. EPA per play allowed for a defense with no blitz. Number 1, Cleveland Browns. Your 4-man rush, your Myles Garrett's, right, all their additions. But when they blitz, they fall to number 2 in EPA per play allowed. The Browns defense, there's a lot of numbers showing how good they are so far. And no matter which way you slice it, the Browns defense is legit through 3 weeks.
You want the best stat for the Browns defense?
I do.
The Browns offense has contributed to more points for the opposition than the Browns defense has. 2 touchdowns to 1.
Wow.
They've given up. The Browns defense has given up 1 touchdown. The Browns offense has given up 2 touchdowns to the opposition by turnovers.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It's good, right?
So that's a matchup, man. It's a matchup against the Ravens. I don't know if you have a strong opinion on the Ravens offense so far. I'm a little torn on it. I don't think it's the new look, right? It's the post Greg Roman era. I don't think it's been great overall. It's different. It's far more horizontal.
Yes.
And you should have, I believe Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum should be back. I can't wait to watch more Tyler Linderbaum, their center, former first-round center, in this offense because it gets the playmaking center into space more. It's far more horizontal. But you've got Zay Flowers catching all those short passes, not able to do much with it. Like you're missing this explosive element.
Dante Hall.
He's Dante Hall. You're missing some explosive element to it. I think the horizontal will play well against this Browns pass rush, right? You might be able to try to break a few plays in space. You have to protect yourself against this pass rush this week. But I think the Ravens just look okay offensively so far.
Yeah, no, it has only looked okay. But look, they've been injured as well. Remember, like, this looked like the best receiving core that Lamar Jackson had ever had to work with. On the other hand, they were changing to a scheme where they were going to require more of them on the field at the same time at any given moment. So the depth didn't necessarily improve. There are more of them on the field on any given snap. But if one gets hurt, it's as thin as it's ever been because the next guy up is still the same guy it used to be. So OBJ has been hurt. The group has not been healthy and consistently on the field at the same time. So I don't know that it's had the impact that people thought it might. I also think through 1 week, 2 weeks, we were like, oh, maybe we are wrong on Zay Flowers. And then 3 weeks, it's like, maybe he is actually a little bit more limited than people were giving him credit for. When you look at his route tree, it's very Dante Hall. Like, we have this slot guy who makes insane moves happen. We don't quite know how to use him fully. And sure, he had that one pass down the field where Lamar hit him in the face with the ball. Beautiful deep pass. but that's kind of been it in terms of any sort of extra creativity with the route tree. So we don't quite know what he's going to be yet. I think the offense is still going to be decent, but now it's going up against what looks like by far the best defense in the NFL. And, Ronnie Stanley coming back, but Ronnie Stanley has come back before, and not been Ronnie Stanley when he came back. And the test this week is Myles Garrett.
On the other side of the ball, what I want to see here, right? So Deshaun Watson coming off of his best statistical game with the Browns, even though there was an Aaron Brooks throw the ball backwards play.
Yeah.
Best statistical game.
Best grade as well, right?
Best grade, I believe. Yeah. So
even with the Aaron Brooks play in there.
But it's week 2 without Nick Chubb. And last week's run game, I know the Titans, the phone booth thing. I made a phone booth reference a couple weeks ago.
Nobody knows what a phone booth is.
What is that? Tight game. Tennessee did a good job bottling up the Nick Chubbless run game. If Baltimore does that again, how much, there's a lot more pressure on Deshaun Watson, not just because he's got a ton of money in the bank guaranteed, but the whole offense is going to run through him and the pass game a little bit more now, because there's going to be more games where the game flow gets out of hand for the Browns. A little bit more pressure on Deshaun Watson in the pass game to win it for the Browns. Can he do that consistently?
Yeah, though I think, obviously it's different when you have Nick Chubb out there. He's probably the best running back in the NFL. But I think the run game will be okay. They still have one of the best run-blocking offensive lines in the NFL. The running backs that they currently have don't look bad. They're just not Nick Chubb. So I think generally it'll be okay. Tennessee have a really good defensive front, so that makes sense that they were slowed down versus them. I kind of feel like all the money in the bank is reason Deshaun Watson has no pressure whatsoever. What does it matter to me if I play well or not? I got $230 million in there.
You are really good at getting into the mind of a billionaire.
Yeah.
You are not,
now,
because you haven't played. Now, granted, you've never played like me at the professional level.
Correct.
Right.
Strictly
so you might
amateur.
not be able to get into our headspace.
Right. As a professional, yeah.
As a professional.
Mm-hmm.
But as a professional, when you have money in the bank, you're not just like, hey, I'm rich, I'm good.
Just
not that I can relate. But
I was going to say, just to clarify,
really quick.
Deshaun Watson currently has about $230 million guaranteed in the bank. How much did you ever have in the bank?
Would you say $230 million?
Yeah.
He has $230.
Dollars.
Yes.
Got it.
So I didn't say, hey, I got my $230. I'm good.
I'm set.
I said,
at least for the next
team's
meal.
paying me that $230. I need to do well by them. I need to go prove it. So you feel a different sort of pressure to live up to that. Plus your general pride and pride in your work.
I feel like that might not scale. I think for $230, you might think, I do need to focus on where the next $230 is coming from.
I do always tell the story, though. Buster Posey, future MVP, was my teammate in AAA. I'm making no money. And my thought process is just keep my job. He's over here I just made $6 million. I'm going to the big league soon. I want to do well by the Giants. I did hear that. You sense that from him.
Right.
So you think, well, I got the money. I don't. A high-level athlete like a Buster Posey, not me, like my teammate, wants to do well by the team that invested in them. So I think Watson is going to feel that type of
pressure. Okay.
And I'm not talking about I'm saying the pressure as in you might have to drop back 40, 45 times a game now, a little bit more often
carry the team
than you did. And we haven't seen him play well for an extended period of time. So he's got to start putting those games together where the game flow gets out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, we're unbelievable at getting off track here.
Do you know who leads the Baltimore Ravens in pressures this year?
Odafe Owe.
No.
What? Who?
Jadeveon Clowney.
Wow.
Jadeveon Clowney, this sort of
number 24.
Right. This afterthought edge rusher signing, who's now wearing number 24, one of the most abominable numbers for any position in the NFL, currently has 4 more pressures than anybody else in the Ravens. He's actually, he's making an impact for them.
Yeah. All right, man, there's a lot to look at here. Myles Garrett versus a returning Ronnie Stanley. You've mentioned before, is he going to come back and actually be healthy? But Myles Garrett has been wreaking havoc, and he's got friends up there. He's got a lot of help. And I think the Browns keep it going, man. I think they're going to – Lamar's fumbled the ball a ton. I think they're going to cause some problems for this Ravens offense.
Yeah.
And I think the Browns offense just needs to kind of keep it afloat. Keep an eye on Kyle Hamilton. He had those 3 sacks last week. They're blitzing him, putting them all over the place. Watson's going to – this might be an ugly defensive battle. Do we have weather in this game? Can we get a weather report here for this game? But it's the Browns by 3, man.
Too much for me. I'm going Baltimore to cover.
You are, huh?
Can't buy into 3-point favorite Browns without Nick Chubb.
Yeah, you might be right. You know what? I'm going to go Cleveland now. I am going to go Cleveland.
The PFF, the green line, the money, the data says that it should be closer to 2 points than 3. So it's buying into
in Baltimore.
Yeah.
There's probably not enough strong data to believe in Cleveland. Plus, I assume our data is also not going to, love defense week over week, remaining as dominant as they are.